Alright guys, we are back. We are a little long tonight. I'm not going to be able to finish doing all of this tonight. Next episode we will get the silver wood wand cord done, get our caps charged, and we will go node collecting because we need to get that going because it's going to take a while to bully around our nodes. So that's on the agenda for tomorrow night. Give a big shout out to Techno Draven. He traded me a stack of Terra for Ordo. Alright, just to let you guys know real quick. Any kind of forest biome is where you're going to find your Terra shards. Any kind of snow cold biome, you'll find your Ordo. So a Taiga is the only place in Genesis right now where you can find Ordo shards. Any dry climates, I believe it's like a hot river biome, I think is what's in Genesis right now. That's where you're going to find Ignis. The plains are air. River biomes, oceans are for the aqua, and the swamp biomes are for the infantry ones. So with that, guys, I'm out of here. You guys like the episode, give me that big thumbs up. If you're new to the series and like what you're seeing, hit that big red subscribe button. Any comments, questions? And again, guys, I'm sorry about the audio on the last episode. And as far as the quality goes, I'm going to go back to my old software until I figure out this new stuff so I can get it, get your resolution fixed so when we do the build, everything looks clean and crisp for you guys. Alright, so I will see you guys next time. Laters. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Welcome back, everybody. This is Genesis on the OTE Gamers server. Like to throw a real quick shout out to I'm probably gonna butcher both of these names, but here we go. It's Zuvlax and Marnarella. Both of them caught me in IRC tonight just as I was recording this episode, telling me my sound was messed up. There was no sound on episode 10. I extremely apologize, guys. So with that said, I'm going to run downstairs and give you guys a quick run through of what happened last episode so you guys have an idea of what's going on. Other than that, we are going to get started on Thaumcraft today. Like I said, I already started recording this episode when those two caught me. So thanks again, guys. Evidently, when I was changing some stuff around the other day with my mic volume, it messed up a couple other settings. So I've got it fixed, and we are ready to rock and roll again. So let's jump downstairs real quick, and we'll give you guys a run through. We'll do our update, and then we'll get into Thaumcraft real quick. So let's get downstairs real quick. Alright, so last episode, as you guys probably watched and didn't hear, we set up Steve's Factory Manager for our biofuel. And with the way I've got this area designed, what I want to do, I set it up here so I can monitor it so I don't have to run down there to check on, the status of all of our stuff so far. So basically what I got set up in here is the different stages of our fuel processing. Our harvester, our planter, our how to take care of our sludge from our harvesters, bioreactor, and biofuel. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So excuse me if I seem to be going a little fast. I want to get through this so we can get on to our Thaumcraft stuff. Basically, these are all group commands within group commands within group commands to keep everything nice and neat. So if I have an issue somewhere in the system, I know where to look, exactly where to look to find it. And always make sure you guys label your stuff so you know exactly what it is, so you don't come back into it later and be like, where did I don't remember where I put it. So make sure you label your stuff, and it's real easy. You hit the T, type in what you want, and then you hit the little blue disc, and it'll save it, and you're good to go. So, all right, so right here we're on barrels. So our input is from the chest, and this chest is hooked up to our harvesters via item ducts um, from Ender.io. So they come in there, and basically all this does is I've got all the items on here that come in that I want from that chest to go into these barrels. So I whitelisted all of these ones because I don't want the wood, I don't want the raw rubber, and I don't want the wheat or the poison potatoes. So we only want these coming up here. Otherwise, it'll clog the system up, and you'll have to go through and clean it out. It's a pain. And then output just goes, just goes into all the barrels that contain whatever they are. The nice thing about this is it does tell you what is in the barrel. So before you do this, make sure you populate your barrels, even if it's just with one item. Make sure you throw it in there so so it's easier to find this stuff. Okay. So that's how you do that. A lot of this stuff is just really, really easy. Storage, all this does is the same thing. It pulls from our chest from our harvesters, but it sends them to the ender chest, and from the ender chest it goes upstairs into the big storage system. And then poison potatoes just sends them to a trash can. Let's see. And then the planter, I changed this. Yeah, okay. So the planter, what I did with this is I inputted everything from our chest I'm sorry, from our barrels into the chest that connects to the planter. All right. Now, when I set up the items, all the items that we're planting with, if you right-click, it brings up this screen, and I specified an amount, 64. That's how many stay in that chest at all times, 64. So that means you'll have a full stack in the planter and a full stack in the chest. So you've got 2 stacks on hand at all times. You won't run low. And as long as you're checking on your equipment or your systems, it should never be an issue. So if something happens, you can catch it, and you're still working while you're fixing the problem. And then the sludge, all it does is pull from. You have to use a liquid input and output for the sludge, but it just goes to the nullifier. And then the bioreactor, it sends everything from the barrels to the bioreactor, okay? And then the biofuel, the output is just to the tanks. To your biofuel generator that's powering our system down here, and then to the ender tank. Now this will change if you hook it up to an ME system. You would do it to a tank, a regular tank, and that tank would be hooked to, would have a liquid import bus on it. So, or if you don't have a tank, or I'm sorry, an ME system that you're using, which most mod packs do nowadays, you would hook it up to a tank and then pump it from that tank somewhere else. Like if you're using a sludge boiler, you can actually set it up in here to where you can pump it straight to the sludge boiler with no, not having to worry about any fluid ducts or anything. This is it makes it a lot more compact, okay? So that's a 10-second rundown, probably a lot longer than that, of what's going on. Now I have noticed that the seeds from our wheat is the only thing that's not going so fast. We don't have a surplus of that. Everything else we do. I should probably show you guys the pumpkins and melons. Let's see, bioreactor. Now I've got these set up in the bioreactor. I've got them set up as melon, pumpkins, saplings, potatoes, carrots, and it should be seeds, because this is where the seeds are at too. But the melons and pumpkins go through a auto crafter, and the output is still the same. It's still set. I've bumped everything up to 128, which is 2 stacks, and I'll show you that in a second here. Um, but the crafter's real easy. You just click on whatever you want to put in here, and then basically you make your crafting recipe, and it'll show up over here as long as it's a valid recipe. So as long as you have to have an excess inventory, and I've got a couple barrels here, and I think I've got it set up to pull out of there too if it needs to. But I had to do them separately because when I did them couple flows and hooked them both together at the end down here, it wasn't outputting one of them. It was only making like the melon seeds and not the pumpkin seeds. And as you can see, we've got a lot of melons coming out, not so many pumpkins. So we might change this to a deep storage. We'll have to see. If I put another bioreactor in, we might cut down on that a little bit. But as you can see, our efficiency is full. 140 or 1425 out of 1425. But we're only going to half a stack of seeds in here. Otherwise, we're sitting it at 128. You get a stack here and a stack here. This is your excess inventory. So we're doing great so far. We just got to fix the seeds, and I've got a plan to do that with the I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. With Thaumcraft, we'll see if we can't fix that with Thaumcraft and get the seeds going a little bit better. Okay, so let's run down here and take another quick look at our setup down here. So we've got all of our inventory cable. The inventory cable has to be touching the item that you want to connect to everything else. As you can see, everything's touching the inventory cable. Okay, if it's not touching, it won't show up. One thing also, it will show up these conduit connectors, but I don't believe you can do any real interaction with them. I haven't tested it. Basically, what you've seen is pretty basic for Steve's Factory Manager, so that's about the extent I know of it. There's a lot more stuff you can do with this, and I'm going to try to get into some of that other stuff later on. See if I can't get some more stuff built up with these, because these are really nice to make things compact. But, alright, anyway, so our sludge is being piped into that tank there, and then it gets pumped into the nullifier right there. Remember, brown is our in for our planter. So this is our chest for our planter. So it looks like our seeds are slowly catching up, because we should have a stack in our planter now. And we've got a little over half a stack here. So it looks like our seeds are catching up slowly though. And then this is from our harvester. And then that either goes to the barrels or goes to that ender tank there. So, their ender chest, I'm sorry. And one thing to remember, I was showing you guys yesterday, or telling you guys yesterday, lock your ender tanks. Just simply right click with the diamond on that dial there, the front dial. I'll run upstairs so you can see it better. Alright, so right click the dial with the diamond, and it will lock it and make it personal, just like those ender chests. Alright, alright, so on to the update. I moved our ME system over, made some more storage, got another generator going over here processing our ores, and then set up another drive. These are all 16Ks. And then I put this fluid import bus on to the ender tank. And what I notice is when this is running, when this is on, it literally sucks everything out of the ender tank. You can't, I mean, it goes dry. It killed my power downstairs. So I've got 94 buckets in my ME system right now, because I sucked it out dry. I might hook up a secondary system. I got to get charcoal production back online for Botania right now. But I'm going to do that off camera. We're not going to get any tech today. I just wanted to go over this stuff. So, because I'm almost out of charcoal now. Because that farm right there is turned off. It's actually downstairs. So yeah, I might set up a secondary system down there to run that for power while I suck some juice up. But ooh, got some more diamonds. Doing really good on resources. I'm up to 120, well, 124 diamonds now. I've used a lot making the fluid storages and the 16K storages. So, but anyway, so we're gonna get onto Thaumcraft. I'm gonna check to see how much time we have left because there's a lot of stuff I want to go over with Thaumcraft. Just to make things real fast and real quick, because I want to get moving along. But big day update for the build. Okay, so here's the plan. This episode and next is going to be Thaumcraft, because I want to get into nodes, because that's going to take a while. And then it's going to be Botania. Both of these have got stuff in it I want to use for the build, so it's going to make everything a lot easier to do. Hopefully I can get an activation sigil from Botania, and hopefully I can show you guys how to do that. But the build will be next week. Yesterday was crazy for me, so I haven't got my other guy whitelisted, or my other account whitelisted for a cameraman yet. But here's the thing. This is going to be a keep style castle, your small rinky-dink castle thing. Once I get done with this, I'm going to move. I'm going to get everything set up down here to where it's fairly working. But then we're going to go into the sky. I am going to build an actual castle in the sky. Now here's one of 3 ways I can do it. I can either A, live stream it, B, do a montage for it while I build it, and it'll probably be more than just one episode. Same thing with live streaming. Or C, I can build it and bring you guys in and show you some progression on it, as I'm going forward with doing all the other mods and stuff. I just don't feel like I'm going to have enough room with what I have set up here right now to do everything I want to do, and try to keep it as server friendly as I can. The problem with cramming everything into a tight spot is it just starts creating issues. You get high tick rates on the server, and I don't want that. I don't like doing that. I like to be spread out a little bit more. But with a high population server, the more spread out you are, the better. But I've got a lot of stuff I want to do yet, so that's going to be the plan. After I get the base built, or the keep built, I am going to do my YouTuber special. There's 4 or 5 guys I want to give a shout out to that have inspired me to start doing these videos for you guys. So that will be one complete episode. I don't know if it's going to be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or what, but I want to get the keep built first, and then I'm going to do that special for those guys. So I am going to check on the time real quick, and I'll be right back, and we'll jump into Thaumcraft. And we are back. Let's see. We got our goggles revealing done. Let's see, what else? Okay, so I've got 3 staffs done. So we need to do our infusion altar. Alright, so we need some arcane stone, which is just stone around a shard. We're going to need a few of these. I think I've got everything in here. Alright, stone, gold. Alright, yeah, I think I got everything in here that I wanted. Alright, so to make our arcane stone, it's pretty much just a shard, and I didn't grab any shards. I'll grab water. Shards surrounded by, I'm sorry, yeah, shards surrounded by stone. Okay, so first thing we need to make is the rune of matrix. Runic matrix, I'm sorry. So we need 4 shards, 4 stones, and an ender pearl. So 4 shards, ender pearl, and 4 stone. Oops, 4 stone. We gotta use the great wood wand to make these. Alright, so we got the rune matrix. And we're gonna scan it. Remember, always scan new stuff. So like our arcane stone we haven't scanned yet. Alright, so we got a rune matrix. So now we need some arcane pedestals, which is just 7 stone. And we're gonna need a few of these. So I'm gonna make 6 for now. Alright, so the way this works... Oh, we are missing one more thing. And I know we are going to need our arcane stone brick. Alright, so in order to make this, if we look in our book, this is the pattern we need to follow. So we got to do bricks on top or below stone blocks, and then the rune matrix is going to be 1 higher, and it's in a 3x3 pattern with a pedestal in the middle. Okay, so let's get our pedestal out to mark our middle. Let's see, let's do it right here. Alright, so that's our middle. So then we go brick, brick, scan those real quick. Brick, brick, and then stone, and stone, stone, and stone. Alright, so now we need to get our rune matrix on top. Now if you shift and click on that, it'll place it on top, and then you put your rune matrix on top. Okay? Because if you normally click on these tables, or these pedestals, and this is one of the reasons why I like these pedestals, is it just floats there and spins. They're cool. I normally store my wands on them and other baubles. Alright, so what else do we need? Alright, so 25 of each aspect to activate this. Okay, so we're gonna right click on the rune matrix, and there's our pedestal. Yay! Alright, so we're gonna set some more of these out. Since we're not doing anything big, we're just gonna do something simple. And I need 3 more. And to be honest with you, I kind of like the textures of these. The arcane stone brick, or the arcane stones. And Chisel 2 has some really interesting variations of the stone bricks, or the stones. So, it's worth checking into if you want to do like a magical theme. I'll probably use them in this room when I do this. when I do the build, just because I like the look of them. So yeah. Anyway, so we got our infusion altar. All right, so we need Essentia to power our Runa Matrix. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. So Essentia is part of alchemy. And we need to do the Essentia distillation. So our first part is our alchemical furnace, which is the stone block, a furnace, and a crucible. Okay, so we got stone blocks in a U, our furnace, and our crucible. And remember, the crucible is a cauldron that you've clicked with the wand. Alright, so now that's our bottom piece. We are going to set this here. Now we need to do the top of that. And the top of it is the arcane alembics. Okay, so we need this vis filter first, which is greatwood plank and gold, and you get 2 of them per craft. I'm gonna make a couple of them up, just so I don't have to make them anymore. Uh-oh. 6 should be fine. Okay. Well, 4 should be fine for now, I guess. We're only going to use a couple of them for right now. Okay, so we're going to need a bucket, 5 iron, and a gold. And a filter per alembic. And you can stack up to 5 alembics on top of one furnace. But we're only going to do 3. So 3 filters. 3 filters. Having a little desync issues. Okay. So then we need the iron, the bucket, and gold. Let me go get buckets. Yeah, they're not in there. Thought I had all this stuff set up. I've got the buckets somewhere. I know I do. Ah, there they are. Okay. So then the buckets go right here. Alright, so we got all 3. Simply shift right click. Actually, I want that to be on the other side. Now these do have a front on them. This little brown spot on the front, or this little brown square here, is the front, and that's where the label goes. We probably won't keep this the same. Because we're going to be doing the AE2 attachment to this. So all this stuff will get piped right into our AE system, and we won't even have to worry about it. So I'll probably just only have 1 on here to make it small and compact. But I'm going to show you guys the basic versions of these. Now, how this works, let me get some charcoal. This bottom part works like a furnace, just like anything else. So you put coal in the bottom, and let's see, what do we want to make first? We need... Oh, you know what? We can do our wand. Okay, so our next wand upgrade that I can't do yet because I don't have any ordo. I've got to find some ordo. But yeah, we'll get the ordo. But we're gonna need balance shards, and it's 2 aspects of each, or sorry, 2 aspects of 5 of the 6 primal. Okay, and you'll use the 6th one as the catalyst to make the balance shard. So oh, we should go over storage first. Alright, so there's 3 different ways to do this with the storage. Just regular, non-add-on way. One way is doing it by hand, moving the jars, clicking on them, putting them back, and what have you. The second way is the pipes, which are here, the Essentia tubes, and there's a lot of different ways that you can put them through, and there's even a centrifuge to help break them down, and to mix them, I believe. But you can, I don't like doing it this way because you have to worry about pressure and suction and valves and excuse me, and all that stuff. I never really got into it. I always liked the third option, which is golems. I love using these guys. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to make any tonight, just for the fact that I want to try to get to some other stuff. So, if we have time, we'll get into the straw golems. Alright, so we need to make the water jars. Now, the water jars carry 64 of any essentia, whereas the void jars will carry 64, but then anything else added to them after that will get voided. So if you're doing this without the AE2 add-on, the void jars are the way to go. Because in the end, because there's a lot of different aspects that you will get around to getting, like Herba or Terra or Arbor, or some of the ones just off the top of my head that I'm thinking of that you don't use a whole lot of. Alright, so sorry, losing my train of thought here. So the void jars are way to go, but like I said, we're gonna make a couple of these just because we aren't gonna be really using this non-add-on way. We're gonna get to the AE2 setup, and I'm probably between this episode and next, I'm gonna try to get the an AE2 system set up over there for Essentia. And it's basically the same way as doing AE2. It's just done with that. They're different storage buses or storage cards and stuff like that to use. So, it's pressure plates for. Yes, I've got wood planks on Thaumcraft. to make the crafting tables, which saves you a lot in having to run around looking for stuff. But the nice thing is, when you're not looking for nodes, when you scan your nodes, you get aspect points every time you scan a node. So depending on how much is in there, depends on how much you get back, or how much you get out of it. So it's really nice. So we're gonna do this just the manual way tonight. And I believe, wait, what? Huh. Okay. Never seen that one before. Sorry, guys. Just gonna make a few of these. You know what? The glass doesn't work. I suppose I should probably use glass panes. What do you guys think? Think they work better? Alright. So this should be enough for now. Alright, so those are our 6 that we're going to use, but we're only going to get the primal aspects. So, if we go into our Thaumcraft and look, we've got plenty of sugarcane, so let's use sugarcane, and let's see what else sugarcane's got in it. So sugarcane's got herba, aqua, and era. So we can get aqua and era out of this. So we'll do, and it's a 1-to-1, and then we're going to have 1 for herba. And then this would go into the top slot. And then, as you can see, now this is one thing I want to show you guys too. I've got the goggles on. If I take the goggles off, I can't read what is in these. Okay? So goggles are really useful for doing this. Other than you kind of look like a dork, but that's okay. We're all dorks at one time or another. Alright, so we're going to need 3 jars. And it works best, I find, if you have 4 slots open in your hotbar. Because once you fill it up, it changes. So now we got aqua in 1. Got era and herba. Okay. So we just kind of go back and kind of keep cleaning them up. Let them run a little bit. And we've already burned through them. And this is all the essentia that's in here that's being processed. Now there is a way to speed up, a couple different ways of speeding up how fast this burns. You can attach bellows to them, or you can put on, or use, oh, I forget what it's called now. Illuminate. Alumentum. I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But anyways, you can use that in there and it'll actually burn that stuff off a lot faster. Okay, so, and as you can see, I can see what's in those jars now too. And you have to shift right click on top of the jar to get it to place on top, okay? So we got air, aqua. So now we need terra. Let's see, let's do terra, ordo, and ignis. Yeah, because I can use entropy. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's do Terra next. Terra is real easy. Terra we get from... Oh, let's do sand. So we'll do half a stack of sand. And then we need something for Ordo. So let's check while that's cooking. For Ordo, which is right here. Which looks like silicone, maybe, or electrical steel, or comparator. Yeah, comparator. Let's see, silicone. Okay, so that's got Ignis, Ordo, and the bird one. I forget what it's called. So we're going to go ahead and do half a stack of that. We're going to have to make some more jars, though. Make them up real quick. Okay. So we got Perdido and Terra. Alright, so Perdita and Terra. And then we're going to throw in the silicone, which will give us our other ones. And we'll grab... Alright. Alright, so next step. We got to throw them in the crucible. We got to combine all this stuff in the crucible to make our shards. Oh, I hate that stupid effect. I wish they would fix that. Alright. Oh, you know what? We made new stuff and we didn't scan it. Let's scan it. Water jars. Furnace. And a limit. Alright, look at all that good stuff. Alright, so we're going to have Ordo. And we've got Perdicio. Which one do we not have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's all 6. So let's say, let's do a water shard. I forgot where I was at. Oh yeah. I am going after Silverwood core. We need this first. Alright, so we need 2 of each per shard. Alright. So, how are we going to get the Essentia into the crucible? By making some vials, which is glass and clay will give you 8 per craft. I need more glass. So glass and clay will give us vials. So we're going to grab a couple of these. These are kind of cool too. You can make a shelf and put these on a shelf because they kind of look cool. Here, let me show you. So we're using aqua, so we need air. They just kind of like, I've got this swirling little color inside of them, and each one of the different essentials is different colors, so they're just, I find them kind of cool. Alright, so air, not aqua, Terra, Perdido. And then we need to get clean out our alembics. Ordo, Ignis, and then Census. Alright, so we need Ordo and Ignis then. Alright, so that's our 5. Now each one of these contain 8 of the Essentia. Alright, so we already know that 2 in one shard, 2 of the 5 and 1 shard makes 1 balance. So out of 1 set of vials, we can make 4 shards. Okay. We're boiling, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 4 balanced shards. Now if you didn't have the goggles on, you couldn't see the Essentia that was on there, on what it was making, or what was in there. And new item gets a scan. Alright. So let me see. If anyone on the server has got a couple Ordo shards to spare. Okay, so alright, so Silverwood 1 core. We're gonna need an Ordo shard. So until I find an Ordo shard, we can't do this. And I've got to look it up to remember what biome the Ordo shards grow in, or spawn in, because we don't seem to have any magical force in the mining world. I might have to set something up in the deep dark and see if I can't find something better. But we've got it all up. And then for our caps, we're going to use Thaumium caps. I gotta make more balance shards. Because then we put them in, we smelt a balance shard to get the Salus Mundus. And we're gonna need 6 of them. Right, to charge these. And then we're gonna need Potito and Aurum. Okay, I'm gonna get this stuff set up and I will be right back.